Here we go. Hey guys, new video here. I leveled a Deadeye Cycloner today, and it's really good. And I'm going to show you a little bit of gameplay first, as always. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the build, and maybe you'll want to play it. I'll link the POB below. I'm doing like a pretty hard T16 Haunted Mansion, by the way. And as you see, I just start cycloning around. It's a little bit dangerous because of the barrels, and just to save time, because I really want to get to the explanation of the build, I'm going to skip the boss, and I'm even going to skip that breach, even though I'm losing the monies. See, I obliterate this Beyond boss right there. And a strange barrel, I'm going to skip that too, because it takes forever to spawn in. I mean, look how crazy this build is, and look at the AoE. And a lot of people were like, you know what, why are you playing Cyclone? Cyclone's bad. Cyclone's single target's so bad. And I was like, you know what, I just want to go fast. And so this, I'm sustaining. This build revolves around a Queen of the Forest. And now right now I'm really low level, so it'll be a lot safer later on. I'll change up some of the gearing later. But as you can see, this map is pretty much clear. I'm huge right now, I'm like Johnny Sins, you see? Pick up a couple items, but... So I clear the map like this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the speed. Look at this pace. Oh my god, look at this. Right? So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Map is pretty much cleared, and yeah, so that's about it. And I'm sustaining, right, which is pretty nuts. That guy just posted a dick in my chat. I saw it, dude. I saw it. Okay, you can't do that while I'm making a YouTube video. Okay, so let's talk about the build. Now, you might be wondering, a lot of people ask, why Deadeye, right? Like, this is the overall tree, but it might change it a little bit. And so you're like, why Deadeye? Well, Deadeye, like this node, these two nodes, like doesn't do anything, right? But this one is pretty good because, I mean, you get like accuracy and stuff, and 200% accuracy, when accuracy is double, it's pretty good. And then 50 AoE. 50 AoE is like really good, and it also, it's not just for the Cyclone, right? Because I'm using Herald of Ice, then the Herald of Ice also gets the 50% AoE, and because Herald of Ice doesn't like have any modifiers to it already, well, besides Amplify, or Blast Radius right here, Amplify is this one. Because I don't have any increased AoE on the Herald of Ice, I also benefit from the Deadeye here, right? So that's awesome. Skills for an additional projectile, that doesn't really matter. And then over here, oh my gosh, like this is the reason you go Deadeye, gathering wins. So basically when you use skills, you go faster, right? And everything's like kind of like hit by a multiplier. So if you have a Headhunter here, right, it's pretty awesome, because the Headhunter, the speed buffs, like all of them, get multiplied by this. So really crazy right there, okay? And then you have Fast and Deadly, and this doubles your accuracy rating. So if you look here, I have a 95% chance to hit, but since you're pretty much attacking like 2 at a time, it's 5% squared, right? So you have like a 2.5, or like a, what is it, like a less, whatever 5% squared is your chance not to hit on the Cyclone. So it's really crazy. Hey, thanks for the sub, Dude Boy TV. Mwah, big kiss Prime for your Twitch Prime. And so that makes Cyclone really powerful, okay? And so that is the sole reason I went Deadeye. AoE for the clear, right, for the Cyclone, the Herald of Ice, and then overall speed. So it's really strong. Awesome build here. Going over the skill tree, pretty cheap build. I've gone here, I got Unnatural Instinct to take it. If you mouse over here, you can see what the Unnatural gives me in that little radius there. And then so it's basically a crit based build. I got my leech down here. I mean, none of this needs to be explained. This is like very standard for attack Ellie builds, you know. I went for move speed, so later I'll get quick step. Dude, this guy put another peen in the chat. And so you get like all the wet stuff, you get the celerity, you get the quick step, and then I have a lot of jewel sockets because I have like basically life and then Ellie abyssal jewels. And even though the damage effectiveness of the, where's the Cyclones? Right here. See, the damage effectiveness isn't that great, but you're attacking a lot, so it actually helps out quite a bit. I have a, just for the memes, I have an Inspired Learning, right? And that's like 50C, you know, really cheap build. 50C, you put it in here, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4 notables here with Fervor, Herbalism, Heartseeker, and Survivalist, and that's an extra steal from the header. Now, you don't have to do this, but that's what I chose to do. Defenses here, you know, just all the jewel sockets, get a little bit of life, get the easy crit nodes, and then a little bit of AoE, and then Flask effectiveness is always nice because you have some juicy flask. Okay, so that's like the skill tree. I might modify a little bit Wow, the build's amazing. Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, so like if you look at chat right now, like chat is right here, you will see an accurate representation of how amazing the build is. Like they've been blown away. I'm currently streaming for 6.5 hours, and you can see like how amazing the build is. You know, it's really good. And so that's a skill tree. And I'll once again, you don't need to look at this too much because I'm gonna have a path of building down below the video. Let's talk about the gear. So the reason I'm using 2 prismatic eclipses is because if you get white sockets, you get weapon range. So these two weapons, they add 12 weapon range, right? And I think right now I'm at like upper 40s for the radius of my Cyclone. And now the damage isn't too great, right? But once again, Headhunter has a lot of stolen mods that adds extra Ellie based on physical. So you steal those mods, and then your physical actually like does a little bit more, right? And even if you look here on the tooltip, the physical is a very small portion. The elemental is most of it. So I got 2 of those, right? The skin with Oni Kurochis, because you know there's a big debate right there. And then as for the helmet, I'm using a Debotos because this is overall like the move speed comes first. Okay, so the move speed it all depends on the Queen of the Forest. So you want to get 45,000 evasion when you hit your 2 flasks. So if you watch these 2 right here, you hit those 2 and I'm at 46,000. So I'm capped on the Queen of the Forest, right? Once again, yeah, well these are my you say, well, this is like an onslaught 20%, but like this is like the evasion. So I didn't hit my quicksilver either, but that'll show in the move speed down here. So the Queen of the Forest, you got the evasion. Doesn't really matter what the rolls are. The Botos give you 20% speed and a big amount of evasion. And this one's like not even rolled that well. I need to divide this one actually. And then as for the amulet, I am using Aul's Uprising because it gives me a free hatred aura. Now you can also use a Grace one because Grace helps with the aura with the move speed. So you can get a Aul's with a Grace aura, and then it's the same thing, right? Because they're both 50% auras. And then, but this isn't necessary. You can go anything else you want. Here, I just chose to use this because I was trying to get good corruption on it, and then like increased flash charge is always good. You're usually nearby to enemies, right? Because it's Cyclone, so that's a good amulet right there. And these aren't precursors. These are just rings with a lot of resist. So the search I did was just basically, I don't know, 60 plus life and then 120 total res because you're really lacking on res. As you can see here, I took a Lyra, and that's why my resists are pretty good here. If I didn't take a Lyra, I'd still be there, but I wouldn't be like as juicy, right? So just get resist rings, super cheap, right? And then as for the gloves, Tomb Fist, you know, anyone who's played an attack build knows how amazing Tomb Fist is. There's a huge damage in both the gloves because you get the Intimidate, which is like 10, I think it's 10%, right? They take like 10%, yeah, more damage, and you don't have any other taken modifiers. That's actually 10% more. And then so the Tomb Fist also gives you a maim that slows them down. I mean, they usually, as you saw on the map, like the build's so good that it like just one-shots all the enemies, so you don't really need the maim, but it helps a little bit maybe on the Beyond bosses. And so the attack speed, obviously damage there, and I just got a attack crit corruption. So it's a solid gloves, right? I mean almost every attack build like considers Tomb Fist in their building these days, right? So really good. And then here's the bubonic trails, and once again it's all built on this build is all about like moving fast. So it has a base 30% move speed, so you're losing 5% on like rare boots, but I can get the easy 10% enchantment on there. And once again I have the abyssal jewels here for the damages. Now you can also get abyssal jewels that have movement speed on them, right? If you want to really try hard, like I didn't even put in my filter, but you get movement speed abyssals, and then since I have like 9-10 abyssals, oh my goodness, you get 30-40% movement speed. That's crazy. And then as for the belt is a headhunter, and then so this steals the buffs, makes you faster, makes you attack faster, makes you move faster. Nothing needs to be said there. And yeah, that's like the gear over here. We'll go to the gems after I go to the flask. So diamond flask, just so I can get really close to crit cap. Dying sun, just for more AoE. If you look in POB, this does add a few radii to the chart. It's not just like, you know. And of course, the scariest things in the game are fire-based, explodey barrels, volatile dead, corpse explosion, so this will keep you safe against that. This right here, this is just a move speed flask. As you can see, it makes you go faster. And then if you hit them all at once, like, well, if you hit all your flasks, the movement speed flasks at once, you can see right here how fast I'm going, right? Look at that, it's amazing. And then so this is the Jade Flask, Alchemist to get a little bit more evasion, and then Chemist Silver Flask of Staunching here because you have the Onslaught actually gives you the speed. and also gives you the attack speed. And then so this helps you against Corrupting Blood. This one is against freeze, especially on strong boxes, and then this one is warding, so you don't need to ever worry about curses on the map. So build overall, it covers everything. It's so good. Like clear is amazing, single target's amazing. The feel of the build, just like, oh wait, I don't have Flask, hold on. The feel of the build is just like, it just feels good. Like even though you slow down so much when using a Cyclone, I mean, like when you're doing stuff like this, it's so good. And so that's like the gearing of the build. Now you could probably also go Pathfinder or any other Ascendant. Maybe you try like Ascendant. I think Ascendant would be really good because then you could like 2 Might of the Meek. I think that'd be crazy. And another thing that's important is if you want to go fast, you need this Watcher's Eye here. Now this Watcher's Eye is 15% movement speed with haste, so, or with grace, so that when you pop the grace, then you're just zooming, right? Because you always have it on, so always 15% movement speed. Let's go over the gems. So in here I have a Herald of Ice. This is a big clear here. Curse on hit, Assassin's Mark, very common setup, right? So a little bit of crit, they don't die right away, a little bit of PC, power charges, and then Enlighten just to reduce the mana cost, but you don't need it. See, if I take it out, I'm still okay. And then so this one, this is my my main Cyclone setup. 21 Cyclone because you get 1 extra radii at level 21. You get the Wed, right? 2120. Crit damage is actually better at 2023. Increased critical strikes 2120. Added cold. Now this one, like, there's like better stuff than this, but like this one was just a green socket. I didn't want to use too many whales to re-roll this green socket, so that's why I did. And I put that in there, but you can change this out for whatever you want depending on the socket. And then I have Ink AoE because I want to get the biggest AoE possible. Well, not the biggest AoE possible, but well, within reason. So I got that, right? That's the setup. And then as for the gloves, I just have my Hatred because I have free Hatred from Owls. So that's right there. It's a 21. And then a Summon Lightning Jolm. Once again, attack speed is really strong. And even cast speed is good on Lightning Jolm if you're casting like a Whale Haste or something as your Whale skill. But currently I'm using Whale Ancestral War Chief. Even though like my single target is like so good, the Whale War Chief helps a little bit and it looks really cool. And then so that's what I have in there. In the boots, I have an Enlighten linked to my Grace. You have to have the Grace on because you use the Watcher's Eye Grace. And then in this sword, I have my Ancestral War Chief with Conch and Wed. Well, it's called Idwas now, but yeah. So you have these two to give it a little bit of damage, and you have 2 stacks of this. You pop it on the boss, and then on this one, I have an Enhanced to a Blood Rage to give me more attack speed and increased duration, just in case I'm like sitting around. You know, sometimes I look at chat and I die. You know, because it's not. Whenever I die, it's always chat's fault. It's not really my fault. But anyways, that doesn't really. Like, it doesn't really like depend on this, but this is just like to get a little bit extra duration on Blood Rage when I'm like chilling in the corner of a map or something. And in my offhand, you get to level. I'm leveling Enlightens here. You see, I got 6 of them, and yeah, that's the build. It's pretty good. It's really simple. It's fast. It's fun. It's meaty. And also, hey, did you guys know that this node is called Beef? Look at that. And so yeah, so it's a good build. You should try it out. And I might be playing a different build later. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, I stream every day at twitch.tv/QTalk_. Okay, so if you have any other questions, you can ask me there. All right, thank you everyone. Bye. Okay, that's the video. I'm gonna export that. He's also I'm not selling the gear. I'm not selling the gear. Wow, it's a reasonable investment to make Cyclone viable. Is this a real thing for YouTube? Yeah, I do my one takes, dude. You like that, huh? Wow, Keto, you're amazing. Hey, thank you. Thank you. All the PoE knowledge up here just spilling out, you know. These guys, like Engineering Eternity, he makes these beautiful... Oh, wait, let me turn on my music again. You know, Engineering Eternity, he makes these beautiful guides, but I just start talking and an amazing build goes through my mouth into the YouTubes, and people everywhere rejoice. All the noobs are like, oh my god, I can't believe I can play this build now. Yo, Gutan, thank you for 2 billion months. Mwah, big kiss. And he says POC Champ League. Yo, it's like so bright outside now. I can turn off my light probably. Okay, let me put on my music again. What is this? It's a good song. Alright. So yeah, do you guys like my one take? It's good. Okay, so I'm gonna put that on YouTube after the stream. So now